Dead time in solves, like reaction time. That could be really interesting. Just like what color do they lean towards? I think that would be a really interesting one. And actually that's someone we want to consider, given that one of the goals of the Premier Speedcubing League is to introduce new people to speedcubing. Oh, let's talk about, like, it's not as good as the MSL, obviously, but let's talk about the PSL, okay? Let's talk about the PSL because... Wait, what am I doing? Wrong window there, bucko. The Premier Speedcubing League have asked of us, what type of second gen stats do you think should exist for the league? Leave your thoughts down below. Now, what do they mean by that? So obviously going into a new format of competition gives us the opportunity to kind of have a rethink about how we think about the stats from that competition. Hey, like we can, there are stats that we're gonna want to know that don't necessarily live in our common parlance at the moment. You know what I mean? So there's been some good suggestions. There's been some predictable suggestions, of course, as well, but that's fine. So someone down here is saying what the competitors average. That's fairly standard. We want to know that. Difference to first place. I'm not exactly sure what that one means. Turns per second. Best possible average and worst possible average. Well, we're not doing averages, so that's going to be tough. But I guess you could have that. Would you want that though in a knockout competition? I'm not sure. Move count would be great. That's a difficult. Well, that'd be a difficult one to do really fast. But you could have that in sort of post-match analyses. I think that's totally valid. Winning solves streak. That would be quite interesting, wouldn't it? Like, how many wins have they had in a row? Who's had... That's a great one, actually. Ariane Martin Nunez. The winning solve streak. Like, that would be an interesting one to know, wouldn't it? Like, how many wins in a row has X player had, you know? Someone again, I think, missing the point. BPA, WPA, and mean 3. Unless somebody wants to make a case. Someone will want to make the case. Someone come in the chat and make the case why we'd want to know BPA, WPA. Mean, I think, is a great one. Because I guess we are tracking the average record in MSL, aren't we? So I suppose that's got time in there. I quite like this one from old Jack Fuller here. TPS, sure. Dead time in solves, like reaction time. That could be really interesting. Not sure how difficult that would be for the production to work out, but that would be a really cool one to know, wouldn't it? Dead time, reaction time. Or average time based on which color cross is chosen by the competitor. Now, this is getting beyond my knowledge, but aren't lots of people foregoing color neutral to do ZB now? Isn't that what's happening? Because young Yiheng, doesn't Yiheng always solve white or yellow? Because he uses edge orientation? I don't know. I'm out of my depth here, everyone. I'm absolutely out of my depth. But I do like this idea. Average time based on which color cross is chosen by the competitor. I would like to see that. That'd be an easy one to track, wouldn't it? Just like what color people are solving, or what color do they lean towards. I think that would be a really interesting one. And then I chimed in with my own reckons, of course. You know I've got reckons. I chimed in by saying I would like to see an unforced error rate. You know, like in tennis, you get to see how often someone's done an unforced error. So what I mean by an unforced error is like how they finish in the solve. So how likely they are to land a DNF or a +2 based on past performance. So for example, out of 10 solves, 9 solved and 1's a DNF. That would give you a 10% unforced error rate. Know what I'm saying? That's fair feedback from you, Stu. I feel like as someone who has zero idea on the language you guys are speaking, a completely different language. You're saying words, but I don't know the context. Yeah, that's fair. And that's someone we want to consider, given that one of the goals of the Premier Speedcubing League is to introduce new people to speedcubing. But we are kind of getting deeper into it, looking at the second gen stats that we can bring in. So I hear you, Stu. I do hear you. But has anyone got any thoughts? Are there any other stats that you think that you would like to see during the Premier Speedcubing League as they start to get times in, and as they start to get, you know, results, and as they start to have numbers to play with? Do you reckon you have any bright ideas about the kind of stats that you would like to see? I would like to see that unforced error rate. I do like the dead time in solves idea. I think that's great. I like the winning solve streak. I think that's a great one. Did they put them somewhere? Did they? I feel like they put some ideas somewhere, but I can't remember where it might have been. Premiere. Whoops. Oh, that's good enough. I feel like they put up something about stats. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, everyone. It's happened before. I don't like to talk about it, but... Oh, here we are. I've got a message from Michael Chai. Right, I'm gonna leak some exclusive information, all right? Some exclusive info that'll come out eventually. So Chai, when he first asked me about this a while back now, he's talking about margin of victory. So like win rate. Then it's also our margin of victory. I'm not sure what margin of victory might be, but win to loss ratio per solve, not per set. That makes, oh, that's a good one actually. That's a good one. Wins to losses, like in Call of Duty or whatever. Your kill rate. You know? Your kill ratio. That's an easy win. That's an easy win. And your overall mean. I wonder if that means per competition. You know? But anyway. That's that, everyone. That's what the PSL are looking at. They're looking at what kind of second gen stats they can work in to the productions and to the shows. I'm excited to see some numbers going down. I'm excited to see this first competition in Berkeley. March 15th, isn't it? Not long to go now. Not long to go.